very good afternoon to everyone present here and to all our viewers who have joined us online. Welcome to Sree Vonisha Yuvankalpa, Shaping India's Olympic Dream, a unique initiative by Sree Trust and Vonisha Service Foundation in association with IIM Bangalore. My name is Priya.
I am Mike.
And together we are delighted to take you through this inspiring evening as we celebrate India's journey towards an Olympic future.
Today we come together to celebrate India's ever-growing Olympic spirit, the determination, grit and excellence that define our athletes, and to reflect on how each of us can help nurture a sports culture across our nation. As India looks forward to hosting the 2036 Olympic Games, we are reminded that building world-class stadiums is only part of the journey. The greater challenge and opportunity lies in building a culture that values sports as deeply as academics, where parents encourage participation, where schools invest in physical education, and where citizens take pride in supporting our athletes. The vision of a nation ready not just to host the Olympics, but to live the Olympic spirit is what brings us together today. We have among us an inspiring constellation of achievers, Olympians, national icons, leaders and thought leaders, all united by one shared goal, to shape India's Olympic dream.
Thank you, Mike. To begin this meaningful evening, let us invoke divine blessings for wisdom and success. I would now like to invite our esteemed dignitaries onto the stage for the lighting of the ceremonial lamp, symbolizing enlightenment, positivity, and the eternal pursuit of excellence. May I please welcome on stage Dr. Nagasubramaniam and Mrs. Venkateshwari Nagasubramaniam, founders of Vonisha Service Foundation. Mr. Srinivas Murthy and Mrs. Hema Murthy, founders of Sree Trust. Professor Saurav Mukherjee, Dean of Faculty and Alumni Relations at IIM Bangalore. Mr. Uttanka Sharma, an IIMB alumnus and the Head of Alumni Relations at IIMB.
Please come. Mahalakshmi Devakabhyo Namaha Namaskaromi.
To start the program with positivity and grace, let's warmly welcome Anisha to sing the invocation song. Mahaganapatim manasa smarami, Mahaganapatim manasa smarami, Mahaganapatim manasa smarami, Mahaganapatim manasa smarami, Vashishtavamadevaadivandita Mahaganapatim manasa smarami, Mahaganapatim. Mahadevasutam Guruguhanutam, Mahadevasutam Guruguhanutam, Maharakoti Prakasham Shantam, Maharakoti Prakasham Shantam, Mahakavya Natakadi Priyam, Mahakavya Natakadi Priyam, Mushika Vagana Modaka Priyam, Mahakavya Natakadi Priyam, Mushika Vagana Modaka Priyam, Mahaganapatyam manasa smarami, Mahaganapatim.
Thank you, Anisha and Priya, for invoking divine blessings on this auspicious occasion. Thank you so much. Now, for our welcome address comes someone who strongly reflects today's mission. A wing commander, a physician, a healthcare leader for over 3 decades. He has served the nation with distinction as an Air Force veteran. Dr. A. Nagasubramaniam co-founded the Vonisha Service Foundation along with his wife, Srimati Venkateshwari, which has impacted over 3,000 students, supported over 400 women, and uplifted 25 different communities across Karnataka. He believes Olympic medals aren't just won in stadiums, and they begin in classrooms, in families, and in communities that say, you can do this. Please put your hands together to welcome the co-founder of Vonisha Service Foundation, Dr. A. Nagasubramaniam, for the welcome address.
It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all for this evening. It's a very important occasion, and my heartfelt gratitude to IMB management, Professor Saurabh Mukherjee, Utankaji, and Ankita, and all people who had been helping us out to put this together. Warm welcome to all the panelists who could take time from their busy schedule. When I went and told them about this, why we are doing this, they all wholeheartedly said yes, and we could make this today, even today. And also the participants, the people who have come here to witness this occasion. Many people, because of Bangalore traffic, we had more than 200 registrations. They might be en route, they are all coming. Generally, people have a feeling that it is always IST, event starts in IST. But we are all, that is Indian stretchable time, that's what people think. But we are Toastmasters basically, and we try to start our meeting in time. That's why we had a very powerful Toastmasters in Mike and Priya to do the MC of this evening, so that they are stickler to the time. That's why we could start the event in time, because we want to respect the people who have come in time for this event. So with this, I want to tell you why we are doing this. Why we and Vonisha Service Foundation and Sree Trust, we have come together in this event known as Sree Vonisha Yuvankalpa. Why is this? Because today's time, collaboration is the key. The energy and synergy builds up when we all collaborate together. We are not like Hanumanji, where if something has to be done, he takes up the Sanjeevi hills and he goes and he does all the activities single-handedly. We cannot do that. We all have to collaborate. That's why this collaboration is the key. So Vonisha has been functioning in this space from 2017 in education, sports, skills, health and environment. Why? When I was, after my Air Force tenure, I was heading for Narayana Ardale Hospital at HSR, and accidentally came across these people in the slums. Will you, when I saw in their eyes, will you help me to get, to step out to study? So this was how it all started. Our journey in a structured way in Vonisha started when we came across this through an organization known as BEAT Force, Bangalore Effective Education Task Force. You will be surprised to know, in Bangalore there are more than 20,000 children. The numbers have not reduced over the period of years. They are still wanting to have the basic education. You will be, I think most of you will be well informed to know that Bangalore has more than 50% of Bangalore's population is migrant population. So migrations happens regularly. So with that, because of the opportunities which people get, people from various slabs of society, they come in, and especially when they come from the lowest rung of society, for them the educational needs become the great challenge to accomplish, for the parents to accomplish. They are into their livelihood. They are not interested to make their children to study. You could see this kind of scenario. You'll be surprised, is this in Bangalore? Yes, this is in Bangalore. It might be next to you, which you and me may not be able to see this sometimes. We may not be seeing these things. So when we saw this, we realized that the need is to get them out of them from there first. So that is the most challenging thing. To get them to come into schooling system, education system becomes the most challenging things. So because we had this collaborative approach with BEAT Force, wherein various NGOs have come together and collaborate in Bangalore, we also put our hands up and said we will also do something for that. That's how we came here into this space. See, see that guy. I am hesitant, but waiting. Will you handhold me? This question haunted us. We could have just ignored this. We could have gone on with in our comfort zone, doing what we do happily, our own livelihood, our own surroundings, living our life. But we were not happy to do that. And my wife told that she will join hands with me. So then we started this Vonisha Service Foundation. So see the children, see the face, see their expression in the face. The expectations in their eyes penetrated our hearts. So they say silently, we can be achievers too. So changing lives cannot be done alone. We need helping hands. We met one person by name Troy in our journey when we were associated with Bangalore Effective Education Task Force. So he was one person, he believed in us and he supported us, he had mentored us, he had helped us out to make a small beginning in this, in the journey of Vonisha. So they helped us to take baby steps, guided us. In each step we got a good guidance. And one of the person here, Sharda has been instrumental in starting our foundation. I want to give a big round of applause to Sharda for helping us what we are. We are an organization, we believe in, we are due diligence and doing things perfectly as required is a key for us because of the inputs we received, the mentoring and support we received from Sharda, Beat Force, Troy, all of that made sure that we do the things as it is required to do with maintaining highest level of integrity and statutory compliances. So you will see the happiness is when you see these children take up baby steps. It's so infectious. It is a source. I could see a change in my wife's, Mrs. Venkateshwari's, the way she has transformed herself in this journey of service. The happiness she expresses every day, every time when she is making a difference in lives of people. Believe me, it is not easy when you work with the underprivileged children, the street children, first generation learners, they are handling their parents, handling the society is not an easy job. But she does it with so much of happiness. I would like to give a big round of applause for her because of her, we had grown in Vonisha. So when we used to have annual days in Beat Force, and in this annual days, we used to see to that many organizations come together in this platform. And sports became, we could create, I realized that sports can create champions from ground sub-zero. One of these days it happened so, we had on Friday, we had our sports day. Sunday, myself and Mrs. Wang, we went to the slums. One of the mother came running and complaining to us that her son is not removing his old shirt. We were surprised. What happened? So then we realized that she, on Friday in the sports day, he won a small medal. That boy won a medal. That medal he was so proud to show to his friends in the slums. Everybody, whomever he could see, was showing them. And he said that, I don't want to remove this. This is very close to my heart. Then we realized what is the importance of sports in this lives of underprivileged. We all think that if you give an education, that is enough. No. Education, sports and skill development, skills, life skills and also technical skills. These are the four powerful combinations which can empower an underprivileged. Each one of us, you know that this is very important. And in today's time, when health has become a premium in various aspects, we neglect it. Post-COVID, there are so many challenges. We find that people dying young. So this becomes a combination. We found that the seeds, sports empowerment, education empowerment and skill development are the key. So started dreaming we wanted to hear our national anthem being sung from Olympic podiums. Is it not your dream also? Don't you think that we should have our Olympic, in every international podium, we should have our national anthem sung? That means our guys from they are on the stage representing our country. That is the dream which we had. And it is possible. Why? How is it possible? I tell this, many of you would have heard this example I tell. Kantara movie, when it came, the first movie came. First 1 week, people did not know about Kantara, did not know anything about that movie. But just by word of mouth, by social media, people having seen that in the social media, that has become a super duper hit. A movie which was produced for a small money, it went on to become the big changes globally. And you would have heard that now that movie, the second Kantara, has been getting into Spanish also. Time is not, next movie when it comes, I think minimum of 10, 20 international languages it would get dubbed. That is the power of social media. You know, you also know the negative things happen because of the social media. We all are very comfortable, we are very used to that. Suddenly some uprising happens in somewhere, they say that it is because of Gen Z and that is because of the social media. But at the same time, you can also leverage social media in a very, very positive manner. When India is going to host Olympics 10 years down the line, why can't we create a debate and discussion from the ground zero, sub-zero, wherein we tell that India has to get into, we have to get, as a society, we have to get into these sports. This is where we have been cricket crazy country. We were spoiled by Kapil Dev when he lifted his World Cup, 83. It brought 3 cricket, now the bench strength is increased and we have 3 cricket teams. We can, anytime we can play against 3 countries. That is the bench strength which has been created. Then came Vishwanathan Anand. He won the chess championship. We became chess crazy country. We have Gukesh, Pragyananda and et al. Similarly, Prakash Padukone and Pulela Gopichand made sure that we have a big following in badminton. But unfortunately, in running, in athletics, a problem happened. Way back when Milkha Singh lost the Olympics run in a whisker, it so happened that we were all dejected as a country. We needed sporting heroes those days. And we had a lot of hopes, but didn't happen. Similarly, P.T. Usha. P.T. Usha was supposed to be the golden girl and she was an Asian champion and she was supposed to win medal in the Olympics. But unfortunately, 1 by 50th of a millisecond, she lost even that third medal. I met her some 4-5 years back. I met her in Bangalore when she came for a fundraising event for her. She is running an organization in Kerala for creating athletes. She's having a federation center. And when question answer time came, everyone was asking. It's a small crowd. I also asked about that, ma'am. How do you feel about what happened that moment? You won't believe that incident happened 20 years back. When I asked that question, she started crying like a small child in front of every one of us. That loss has hurt her so deeply, and she wanted to do some change. So that's why when India is going to host Olympics, you can imagine a situation when the stadiums are empty and nobody follows it. Nobody is following about that event which is going to be hosted soon. How it will be? It is not a good thing to see. And we can keep on pointing fingers at so many people. We can tell they have to do, they have to do, they have to do. But as citizens, what we are going to do? Are we not have a responsibility to create an awareness among our fellow citizens to take up this cause? And we need to take small but continuous effort to make it happen. We all citizens can make it happen. When Kantara can become a super hit just by 1 week of media's involvement. When so many good things can happen or so many bad things can happen in today's times because of the social media. As we informed citizens who all wear patriotic thought process in our sleeve, and we always feel that we should do something as citizens, but we feel helpless. Why don't we take that small baby step? Why don't we take baby steps in our place and in our surroundings and encourage? Most of the time, you would have seen that even today's chief guest, Syed Kirmani, he started his career as an athlete. I wish he was there too. Many people started that in that way. And we have so many amazing panelists also. They had all been sports persons. But they did not pursue the sports as their full-time career. They had to deviate themselves and to get back to them, and not, but still they're maintaining the interest. There are many budding sports persons, athletes, sprinters, lost in this life's journey. We would all have lost them. Our endeavor is that let us create an awareness. Let us as citizens, let us see in our surroundings. We identify somebody that this person is going to be a sports, well, let us encourage. It's a big task, but even as Chinese proverbs say, even 1,000 steps journey start with a first step when you take up together. So that's why we put this panel together. I have Dr. Anantram is there. We are doing one health checkup for the school children. We are going to do a unique health checkup program, which is going to involve not only the physical parameters, psychological parameters, but physiological parameters also we are include, thanks to Major General who could, we had so many brainstorming sessions with him. So we are doing that. Sure, we will identify, we will make some steps wherein we will do in the, at the ground level, ground sub-zero level, we will put in that the seeds of things where we can take, everybody can take some steps to do that. So with that endeavor, we went and approached, first I approached Professor Saurav Mukherjee. He was kind enough to accept to be one of the panelists and gave us this place for us to be here today. And from then on, we had meeting each one of the panelists, whether it is Major General Hari Pillai, in spite of his busy schedule, he gave us time, we could interact with him. Suganya Ravichandran, I met her in Yeswasa University, and then connected with her, and I could see that the type of journey she has been going through. I said I wanted her to be here. Saumil Majmudar, I heard about him. I would like to hear more about him here today in this forum. Dr. Vinay is not only a leading orthopedician, but he is also a sports medicine specialist, and also he is a sprinter by himself. He is a marathon runner. And thanks to Ravi Shankar, who had been kind enough to be the moderator for this session. With a big round of applause, I welcome you all for this great evening. It doesn't matter whether the hall is full or not. Whatever we are going to record now, this is going to go all over the country and all over the world. Wherever Indians are there, they will see this, the type of discussions going to happen, the types of thought process which is going to come here. People, this will go and inspire people, each one of them who is going to see this through the reels, through the social media inputs. They will ensure that it reaches to the people as citizens who matters. So we are having students from NMIMS, so many people out there. So we all have to be the vehicles of carrying this information wherever you guys go. So that there is a real interest created at the ground zero level in the society, and we start this journey. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Naga. That was very inspiring. I'm sure that we can see the passion that Dr. Naga and his team carrying in the heart for making our nation an Olympic nation, right? It's not a small task, but like he said, every journey begins with the first single step. Now, moving forward, we are going on to the highlights of the event today. It's a panel discussion on Olympic sports culture, the citizen's role. This conversation brings together a dynamic group of individuals who have lived and shaped India's sporting and social ecosystems.
To steer this discussion, we have Mr. Ravi Shankar, an entrepreneur, social innovator, and today's panel moderator. Ravi brings deep experience in leadership, mentoring, and societal engagement, making him the perfect bridge between citizens and changemakers. With a thunderous round of applause, let's welcome Mr. Ravi Shankar to lead this inspiring conversation.
Good afternoon, friends. Am I audible? Yeah, okay. Thank you. A very warm welcome to the IIMB campus. I am confident the audience will be looking forward to hear our esteemed panel members share their insights. Let me go ahead and invite the panel members one by one. I will be introducing the panel members later once they are on the stage. So I would like to invite the first panelist, Major General Hari Pillai. Please come to the dais. I would like to invite our next panelist, Padma Shri Dr. Malati Holla.
tell about her during my speech. It's okay.
I would like to invite our third panelist, Mr. Saumil Majumdar. Saumil. I would like to invite our fourth panelist, Professor Saurav Mukherjee. Please. Now I invite our fifth panelist, Suganya, Ms. Suganya. Finally, I invite our sixth panelist, Dr. Vinay Kumarswamy. Please come. A very warm welcome to all the panelists. I'm sure all the audience members are looking forward and very eager to hear you, to learn from you, as well as to get inspired by you. Ladies and gentlemen, you must have been wondering why a topic like this has been selected. As Dr. Naga was saying, this is something that has been in his mind. And you also must be wondering why, what is it that citizens like you and me can really do to bring in Olympic sports culture in our country. After all, there is a ecosystem existing in this country. We have sports federations which manage individual sports. We have athletes who train hard, compete in international and national events, and win medals for the country. We also have the government supporting through investments in infrastructure. We also have many public sector companies, private companies, armed services supporting sports and sports people, sponsoring events. What is it that we individuals can really do in contributing towards this cause? I'm reminded of one particular event that happened not so long ago. And this event was absolutely unprecedented. This was something that happened so very quickly that none of us could really prepare for it. But all of us contributed, all of us rose to the occasion. The entire nation rose to it. I'm sure you must have guessed it by now. This was the COVID lockdowns. It was the contribution of each one of us that made our country overcome this challenge. I am confident if each one of us is able to step forward, we will be able to contribute towards this cause too. Our nation is now embarking on the objective of becoming a developed country. And like all the other developed countries, India also needs to become an Olympic superpower. We are fortunate to have a very distinguished panel who have been contributing and continue to contribute still towards this cause. Let's look forward to hear them, to learn from them, and to get inspired from them. Let me also tell you about how we'll conduct this panel discussion. I will introduce one panelist in detail to you, and then I will ask the panelists to give an opening statement for about 4 to 5 minutes. After that, I will introduce the next panelist and give the panelist introduction. And once we have all the panelists deliver their opening statement, there will be a brief round of follow-up questions from my side to the panel members, followed by questions from the audience. I would like to request the audience to keep their questions ready at the time. Make sure that your questions are very brief, because we want to make sure that we give as many members of the audience a chance to ask their question. And when you ask the question, also make sure that you direct the question to a particular panel member. So let's get started with the panel. I would like to introduce the first panelist round. The first panelist, Major General Hari Pillai. He is an alumnus of Sainik School, Kajakutum, and National Defence Academy and Indian Military Academy. He was commissioned in the Maratha Light Infantry Regiment in June 1989. He is a graduate of the Defence Services Staff College, the College of Defence Management, and National Defence College. He has commanded an infantry battalion in counter-insurgency operations in Jammu and Kashmir, a mountain brigade in the northeast, an infantry brigade group in the United Nations, and has been the general officer commanding of a sub-area. He's had several staff and advisory assignments and has also been the Director of Information Operations at Army Headquarters, handling media and information domain. In the past, he was in the field of sports administration as he was the officer in charge of training at Army Sports Institute in Pune. This institute is the crown jewel of Indian Army's Mission Olympics program. He has been responsible for talent scouting, selection, training, and management of sports person. And currently, he is the Additional Director General of Recruiting at the headquarters Bangalore recruitment area. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Major General Hari Pillai.
Dr. and Mrs. Nagasubramaniam, fellow panelists, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Now, you would be thinking, why is an army man, out of uniform, talking about sports? This is not a voluntary assignment that I've taken. It is forced upon me by Dr. Nagasubramaniam. Right. Having said that, most of us in uniform are passionate about sports. We are trained right from the word go, and I've been in and out of in some kind of a uniform or the other from my Sainik School days. For those of you who don't know it, that's from the age of 10. I'm just about to hang my boots in a couple of months from now. That's about 50 years of uniform, 50 years of playing, and 50 years of sports in some form or the other. Even today, I think early morning, if I don't go out for my little bit of exercise, I feel out of place for the whole day. Now, that's exactly what I would, want to mandate. It is an attitude. Sports is also an attitude. It's also recreation. It's a de-stressor. It is also competitive. The thing is, it's all together at once. There are not very many things or activities that you will find that can take the complete span of these, these forms that I just enumerated. It needs to be in a culture. The problem, with us as a demography, what Dr. Nagasubramaniam just mentioned, that we look for icons and we follow those icons. And hence, we have periodic changes, periodic fascination, if I may use the word, with people, events, and hence a followership. He also gave an example of Kantara, the movie. Again, a passion. You find, you can actually look at the Indian calendar on any discipline, be it sports, movies, politics, or anything else, based on these event calendars, defining moments of somebody achieving something, and you have a followership that comes in. So suffice it to say that it is one of the means to motivate and to get a following. But is that enough? Clearly not, because these icons come in, they are few and come in far between. So the necessity is for us to permeate through the complete ecosystem to sustain this attitude. And which is why I said I will participate in the citizens' initiative to look for or to promote sports. Now, we've had programs, both governmental and non-governmental, over time, successful ones in that. And if you were to look at our sporting culture and sporting history, it's not new, it's going on for quite some time. And periodically we've had our successes, and periodically we do have other setbacks. In fact, I'm too young to talk about Milkha Singh's time, but let's say when P.T. Usha lost that medal, I think the whole nation gave a collective sigh of disappointment. Right? That's how passionate we are with icons, passionate with we are with events. So my submission here is that it has to be a cultural shift. Now, how do we, as citizens, because policy is not in the citizens' hands. However, public pressure also does create policy. There is something, there are certainly 2 or 3 definitive things that anybody or the public at large can do. And this would entail a shift in culture. Being an army man, I suppose I will always start with the aspect of discipline. Discipline is just doing the right things at the right time, at a regularity, when no one is looking at you, I suppose, without supervision. That's my definition, to its worth with my service in uniform. Discipline is not something which is limited to the army or to the uniform. It permeates every activity, every aspect of life, every discipline, every vocation, and every relationship too. The second aspect which I would, which I would want to highlight, and I will explain or based on questions that that you may put across to me at a subsequent time, is about participation. Now, what do I mean by participation? All of us cannot be running on a 400-meter track when Olympics, for any kind of event. But all of us can definitely go and encourage people. How many of us take time out as a nation, as a demography, to go and encourage kids, whether they be from the slums, as Vonisha Foundation is doing, or, a village athletic meet, or a school athletic meet. Motivation and encouragement also does create icons. It's finally, exceptional output or outcomes require exceptional effort. And it is very difficult to sustain exceptional effort. There is requirement of motivation, more or less at every stage. And there are very few people that I know of and that I've read about who could have sustained these efforts on their own. Most of our icons had some mentor, some person behind the scene who was motivating them to keep up the pressure to perform. And that is something that any one of us can also do if we put our minds to it. The third, and the last that I will say now in my opening statement, is about civic sense and responsibility. Now, why do I bring it into sports? Sports as a discipline requires facilities, infrastructure, and most of them are expensive to construct and definitely difficult to maintain. The problem with, us as a population, as a country, as a society, is that we do not take ownership of any common asset. I'm not putting it as government asset, I'm putting it as a common community asset. It is, we have this business of othering, that the others will look after it. Now, any facility, now I can give you multiple examples or multiple illustrations on the score, which is to say, encroachment of a sports facility by, for whatever reason, by whoever, from hawkers to power, to powerful people. From institutions like the municipal corporations or the panchayats or whatever, and the neglect that they do, these are all possible to be influenced or checked by ownership. Now I also did, that's the civic responsibility part of it. I also said about the ownership part of it. That is maintaining and taking care of all these facilities. Again, it's not only about yourself, it's also about preventing others from misusing, a chair or a gym equipment, which is, outdoor gym equipment or an indoor gym or anything that is left for public good. We go even to our best airports or to our railway stations or the metro, you would find misuse of a lot of equipment and facilities that are there. Now, this is not a one-off. This is something which has permeated our society and remained unchecked because most of us think it is not our job to check the others to maintain this. That's why I said the sense of ownership and othering. It is to the other's responsibility. I've been just allotted 4 minutes, and I think 3 or 4 points at this point of time is more than sufficient for me to put across why, as citizens, we need to change. We need to make a cultural shift to encourage the development of the country in every single field, sports being just one of them. Thank you, and Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, General Pillai, for your opening remarks. Now I would like to introduce our second panelist, Dr. Malati Hola. Dr. Malati Hola was struck with polio at the tender age of 14 months. She had to undergo 33 surgeries before she could gain function of her upper body. Although she was wheelchair bound, there was no limit to her enthusiasm and ambition. She underwent extensive physiotherapy and training to compete in athletics. She participated in events like javelin, shot put, discus throw, and wheelchair racing. After winning several domestic competitions, she started competing internationally. Her first international competition was the Seoul Paralympics back in 1988. She's won a record 393 gold medals, 27 silver medals, and 5 bronze medals in national and international competitions. She was conferred the Arjuna Award in 1995 and the Padma Shri in 2001 by Government of India. Currently, Dr. Malati is running an NGO, Matru Foundation. Matru Foundation helps differently abled children to pursue their dreams. Her life is a testament to resilience, determination, and the power of sport to transform lives. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Malati Hola.
Very good evening, everybody, my co-panelists and all the audience. Dr. Naga sir, ma'am, Venkateshwari ma'am, Sharda ma'am. I got this poliomyelitis when I was just 14 months old. Then when I was 3 years of my age, I was admitted to one of the hospitals at Chennai. I spent 15 long years in the hospital, undergoing 39 surgeries and some 20 odd fractures. Then I came back to Bangalore for good after 15 years, continued my education. Sports, of course, I was not passionate at all. I didn't know what is the sports at all. Those days, no social media, nothing, no publicity, nothing for the sports. I just wanted to forget my physical pain and mental trauma for all the 15 years which I went through. Because the entire of my childhood, went on with the physical pain and mental trauma. No family bondings, no parental love, nothing. So this I wanted to get rid of it. I just wanted to strain myself, my body, I wanted to strengthen my shoulder because it helps me to move my wheelchair or walking with the calipers and crutch and all, Shoulders are very important, hands are very important for people like us. So I wanted to strengthen them, that's all. Then I joined in the Kantirava Stadium for the physical exercises and all. Slowly I was attracted seeing the normal athletes playing for the training themselves there. Then slowly I was also fascinated and joined the sports. Went on, started my second journey in the sports. I think those days of my childhood made me mentally strong. Though I was very weak physically, all my physical pain and mental trauma, it molded me into a fantastic and gorgeous queen. So today I'm sitting on my chariot. I never regret of my disability at all because it's a God gift for me. And it made me who am I. And then also no regret when I look back at all. Because all the negativity, all the physical pains and mental trauma, I made into a positivity, all the negativity aspects I made into a positivity and live like a wonderful human being. I'm trying to live like a wonderful human being. All the 39 surgeries were not the super duper surgeries, 60 to 70% were the hopelessly dropped because of my doctor's mistake or my childhood play, anything, whatever it may be. But each and every surgery taught me I wanted to become a doctor by profession, because not to serve the society, of course, but each and every time I peep into the operation theatre, I used to challenge the doctor who used to operate me. Every time you're cutting one of my nerves or bones or tissues or muscles, you're paining me a lot. Followed by the physiotherapy and plaster of Paris, everything. Almost 6 to 7 months I should be on the bed motionlessly. And all my education, all my studies, my teacher used to come to my bed and teach me. See, these and all, mentally used to trouble me. So I used to challenge the doctor. One fine day I become a doctor and see that one of your nerves or bones cut. So this was a childish, maybe wish or prayer in me, but always, who's sitting upstairs, always basic in discuss. You made me doctorate, honorary doctorate, So I'm a Dr. Maltiholla today. So I'm so happy. So that doctor, the prefix doctor has made me so proud, At least people like me, can do so many things. In spite of their disability, in spite of everything, they can do wonders in the life. And first of all, we have to be happy for ourselves, whatever is we are having in our body or in our life, whatever we are having. But we should be happy for what is given by the Almighty. We should understand the life first. Then everything will become so normal. No grumble, no cribbing, or government not done. In my days, no government support, no social media, no infrastructure, no wheelchair-friendly accessibility. In my days, Kantirava Stadium, I think Sukanya ma'am knows it. No wheelchair-friendly accessibility at all. But even though, we used to go and struggle a lot and make ourselves happy. Though we get a name or not, that is secondary. Though we win or not, that is secondary. But we used to put our most 100% of our effort while training. I think that strongest foundation, what we put today, all the para-athletes are enjoying their lives today. So that proudness we have that. Ultimately, I am not 100% sports person, I can tell you. In my events, technically, I'm zero because I have whatever I am today. It is without a coach I have learned. Wherever I go, whichever abroad I go, and used to sit in a corner and watch what other countries' athletes used to perform. One-to-one coach was there, how they teach them, everything, how they throw the shot put or discus, whatever it may be. I used to sit in a corner and watch it. Then come back to India, I adopt all that technologies, then I used to do that. So today I'm not a perfect sports person, I should confess. Only thing is I made my mind strong. I go, perform and win. That's all I know. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Malti Hola. I would like to introduce our third panelist now. Saumil is the co-founder, CEO and managing director of Sports Village, India's leading sports education organization. Their aim is to get 100 million children to play and transform them into champions in life. This was started in 2003 and it partners with schools, academies, parents, brands, CSR donors and governments, helping them integrate their goals of holistic development of children. Till date, Sports Village has touched over 60 lakh children and partnered with more than 18,000 schools through its various programs. Saumil has also received the CII Emerging Entrepreneur Award and has been recognized as one of the top 50 leaders influencing education by Education World. Saumil has been a core committee member of the National Sports Education Board, CII National Committee on Sports and Delhi Government's Curriculum Reform Committee amongst others. He is a distinguished alumnus from IIT Bombay. He is also an alumnus of IIM Bangalore. He has a basic mountaineering degree from Nehru Institute of Mountaineering, Uttarkashi. And if this wasn't enough, he is also a black belt in karate. In his endeavor of getting 100 million kids to play, he has also co-authored a book titled Get Kids to Play, which is making waves in the parent and school leader community. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you, Saumil Majumdar.
Thank you. First of all, Dr. Naga and all the organizers, thank you for having me. Always good to come back to campus and great to be on this panel. I just had maybe 3 broad points and some thoughts on success when you talk about Olympic dreams. Nitin Pai from Takshashila, some of you know him, has written a nice article talking about why does the Olympic dream even happen? Why Olympics? And typically 3 reasons are pointed out. And those 3 reasons I thought will be a good framework to talk about how should citizens engage, since that's your context here. One reason is national pride. We want to see national anthem on the Olympic podiums, we want to see the flag, and there's this notion of national pride, there's notion of all of us together, internal differences separated, us against them, unification, there's a whole national pride and feel-good part for sports. The second reason very often mentioned is infrastructure development. Infrastructure is not just stadiums, but also the metros, also the roads. Cities get a facelift because the whole world is going to watch us as a country. And the third reason very often is health and fitness of the population. That because there's Olympics, people will get inspired, people will play, and therefore society will benefit. The second and third, the infrastructural development and the health and fitness, are very often touted as the legacy of Olympic movement, because the Olympics require huge investments. And justification for the investments are typically given in these terms, it's called legacy. Now there is a moot point that legacy in the past Olympics has not really worked out the way people thought. And therefore it's important for us as India, if you look at Olympics, to really interrogate how do you want to define legacy? How do you want to define success? Now taking these 3 points and connecting to the whole notion of citizens' role, let's take the first one, right? Inspiration. Olympics, yes, participation, yes, going and watching. But I think we have to ask ourselves, will we only watch the IPL? Or will we also watch the game next door? Will you also watch the neighborhood tournament? What are we willing to spend our time and energy on and money on? I think the fundamental point that I want to leave with that the citizen's role starts with citizen's choice. We make choices and that is getting reflected in the market. IPL has high value, India-West Indies match has no people watching it. These are choices people are making. Both of them are cricket. They're choices we are making. An athletics tournament in the Kantira might not have enough people watching. But an IPL match or a India-Australia match in the case Chinnaswamy Stadium might have. These are choices we all are making. So one is the whole from an inspiration perspective, what all do you want to inspire? Only the best, only the elite, or also your neighborhood child playing? And that happens when you show up and support. The second is infrastructure. Do we only want stadiums? Kantira Stadium is not accessible to most of us. They're accessible to elite, and it should be, but what about us? I want a playground for my child to play in, but I don't have a playground near my house. So what is infrastructure? What do we define as infrastructure for a sporting country? Playgrounds near my house, safe walking footpaths for my child or my daughter to walk and feel comfortable and safe to walk back. I think we have to ask ourselves, what do we want to define infrastructure? To inspiration, infrastructure. And lastly, the whole notion of health and fitness of the population, right? And these are all fundamental choices. The approach we have taken is that the answer is in schools, answer is in education. If educational institutions embed sports and physical activity, and Saurav here is a big supporter of that, whether it's IIMB-like institutes or schools, then you will have a generation of people walking out with physical skills and a love for sport. Most of us have learned history and biology. Most of us are not historians or biologists. Why did we learn it? Because it was part of education. Similarly, can we have physical activity in sports as a part of education? Some specific example just to remind us that this is not just empty words. There's an interesting gentleman called Arun Pai, also fortunately alumnus of IIM Bangalore. He's Ugly Indian and now Walkaroo in Bangalore. They've taken up initiatives to just clean up footpaths and clean up spaces underneath bridges where kids are now playing. So some of the initiatives are not very difficult to do, whether it is deciding on how we want to decide the infrastructure and so on. So I want to leave with a question to define success. What should the Olympic dream be? Should we have an Olympic dream of 100 gold medals, but a generation of unfit citizens? Should we have a dream of fantastic stadiums, but no playground to play? I think the pendulum has shifted on this side. We need to finally kind of find a way to bring it to a balance. And maybe balance is what I would define as success, to balance both inspiration as well as access to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Saumil. I would like to introduce our fourth panelist now, Professor Saurav Mukherjee. He is the founder chairperson of the Center for Teaching and Learning at the IIM Bangalore. He has received the UNDP Fellowship for Research in Inclusive Business Models and the Wilgrow Fellowship for Research on Social Entrepreneurship. He has authored many case studies on social enterprises, which have been published online by Harvard Business Publishers. He was awarded the IIMB Alumni Award for the Faculty of the Year, IBM Faculty Award, and the IIM Chair Professor of Excellence. He is currently the Professor of Organization Behavior, the Dean of Faculty, and Dean of Alumni Relations and Development at IIM Bangalore. Another of his extraordinary achievements is that he is also a marathon runner. He has been training since 2011 and has completed 30 full marathons and 5 50K runs. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Saurav Mukherjee.
Thank you. Yeah, good for adding that last bit. Otherwise, people would be wondering, what am I doing here? It's really inspiration to sit among these people. You know, Dr. Malti, she has won so many gold medals. I was thinking if I sit next to her, maybe a few of them will come to me. Yeah, so that's. So the question is that, you know, how do we build a culture so that we meet our Olympic dreams? And let's start thinking about it. If we really manage to get the 2036 Olympics, then the boy or the girl who will get those medals, how old do you think he or she is, and what exactly he or she is doing today? So if you assume that the average age of a Olympic medal winner is about 23, 24, depends on the event, etc. Then we are 11 years behind that. So this boy or the girl is about what? 12 years old, 11 years old. And if that boy or girl is not really practicing very hard, not getting the right food, not sleeping enough, and not have a coach, then there is no chance that he or she is going to win a medal in the Olympics. Right? So the time is really very short if we have to realize our dreams of 2036. And how does one win an Olympic gold medal? I mean, apart from the lot of things that are talked about and a lot of things that are obvious in terms of practice and talent, etc., there is a huge chance of luck. There's a huge factor of luck. I mean, to reach the finals, hard work, talent, everything will take you to the finals, but the difference between winning and losing out on the medal at such a high stage is a matter of chance. And people were talking, Dr. Naga was talking about P.T. Usha and Milkha Singh, both of them finishing fourth. I don't know how many of you looked at this year's World Championship in Tokyo, and remarkably in the marathon there was a photo finish. Now let me put this into perspective. A marathon is 42.2 kilometers. So imagine that you have run for 2 hours 10 minutes or 2 hours 11-12 minutes and could not win it because of 0.05 second. That's how much the difference is. In fact, this was quite surprising this time, that if you look at the longest of distances, which are typically won by much bigger margins. You can think of 100 meters being a photo finish, but this time if you look at the marathon, the 10,000 meters, the 5,000 meters, which are usually very long races, they are typically not photo finishes, but men's and women's, most of the races were finishing as a photo finish. Which just tells you that the world is becoming, like in every field, much more competitive, and at that point that luck matters. And that is where I think the culture part I would link to it, because unless and until thousands and maybe millions of us are playing and developing, when I say us, I'm talking about athletes, swimmers, archers, shooters, there is very less chance that we will be able to win Olympic medal. It is not a magic, it's not going to happen very quickly. And culture building is an intergenerational impact. Culture building, forget about a nation, even for an organization, if you think of culture building, it takes a very long time. So that's the reason why, organizations like Sree Vonisha, the way they are looking at it is very important, because unless and until large number of people are going out and playing, we are not going to produce those champions, because champions are, I was talking to Saumil and he was laughing at it, saying these are what I called as standard deviation item, these are exceptionals. And Usain Bolt is not a normal person. I mean, he's an exceptional person. Look at any athlete, any big sportsman, they're exceptional. And you can only identify those exceptionals when large number of people play that sport. Why are we reasonably okay in cricket? Because cricket is one sport which has kind of percolated down to the largest, down to very, very deep part of the society. That's why you see so much of talent coming up. Unless until we do that, in other sports it is extremely difficult for us to realistically think that we will do very well at the global stage. And so what do we need to do for that? That's the larger question. How do we kind of build the culture? And many of the points which have already been touched, Saumil does amazing. He's an organization does amazing work on looking at the schools, and he and his team had identified this need at a very early stage. Very simple. He came and said that, well, I look at schools and there are no playgrounds. How do the kids play? And this kind of brings us back to a very notion which is deeply ingrained into us, that academics and sports are not connected. In fact, when we grew up, they were kind of opposites to each other, right? I mean, people who are playing the whole day are bad in maths and science and not good academics, and people who are good in academics are not expected to do well in sports. And our society, because of various reasons, actually puts a lot of value in the mind thing, the academics thing, and sports is often if you're not good in academics, then maybe sports is okay for you. And where is the mindset coming from? That's a mindset which many of us still carry. That's a mindset which most of our parents also carried. And how do we change that? I think one of the things that we can do is each one of us will have to go out and play something. None of us are going to be champions, maybe some of us are, but otherwise, it's the parents, it's at a very early stage. If the children see their parents active, playing some sports, etc., if they go to the school and see their teachers talking about sports and playing, then only this culture will build up. Then only the child will feel inspired to go and play, to try out something. And that's where this whole orientation about fitness, because we are not playing to win. I mean, most of us don't play to win. When I first went for a very structured training for doing long distance running, my coach Santosh Padmanabhan told that, hey, you are not here to win anything, okay? So you are here to have a life of fitness. And so I will end with only that one point, that it is good to, tell others, do this, do that, this culture, infrastructure, etc. But I think it's among the other responsibilities which have been talked about, this one responsibility on each one of us, that are you going out tomorrow morning and doing something in terms of your own physical activity? Yoga, badminton, running, swimming, whatever it is. And then each of us will become a role model, and that will convince the kids not to spend time on social media, maybe sleep on time, maybe eat on time. Otherwise, all of us know, right? Sermonizing kids, sermonizing students, do this, do that, doesn't help. I mean, they are even getting smarter and more mischievous day by day. So if you tell them something, they will not listen to it. Okay, you have to show them and hope that they will follow you. I'll stop there.
Thank you, Dr. Vonisha. I would like to introduce our next panelist, Suganya. Suganya is a dedicated yoga and fitness professional. Over the last 18 years, she has helped individuals transform their bodies, lives, and minds through holistic practices. She's a certified yoga instructor and yoga practitioner. She blends traditional yogic science with modern athletic training to create powerful wellness programs. As a champion athlete, she has represented India in several Masters Athletic Championship. She's won 4 golds and a silver in Singapore Masters Athletic Championship in 2024. She won 3 golds and a silver and a bronze in National Masters Athletic Championship Bangalore this year. She won 3 golds and a silver in National Masters Athletic Championship in Pune last year. And she is now competing in the Asian Masters Athletic Championship in Chennai next month. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Suganya.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity, especially to Naga sir. As I was practicing for my Asian meet, it is tough for me because a lot of 6-month practice I used to do it in 1.5 month of time. As I'm into housewife and I have 2 kids, we have to take care of the family. In between, I have to run and then I have to go for my meet. So this is how my journey goes actually. In my school days, when I was into 6th grade, my school principal introduced me running. Before that, I seriously don't know what is running. But once when I started running, I feel it is very happy. I've never felt happiness in anything. But when I started running, I feel, okay, this is something different and which makes me so happy and I can do anything and everything. 1-2 hours work also, I can do it like that. So I started 6th to 12th, I used to be a school champion. After that, I'm not able to continue my sports because of I have to study and I have to get married, this, that, everything. Almost 20 years of my life is gone. So recently, last 2 years back, the same school principal have come back. I don't know where he was before and how he has come back. He's the one who told, why can't you run again? I told it's almost 20 years and I'm totally not into touch and I seriously don't know how to start. Then he showed me the pamphlet how this Masters Athletics Championship. When you see that, you really get scared because of the high jump and long jump and the hurdles. In the poster, it was I told sir, I'm same old Suganya, but almost 20 years now and I seriously can't do it. He told, no, try. You won't believe, just like a inky pinky ponky, I have choose my 3 events. Because as I was totally not into practice, but I am into yoga, I am into fitness, but fitness though you can't run means I don't know. So I was recently did a sari run which 5 kilometers I'm able to do in 40 minutes. That also I did it because they said with sari it is difficult to run. I told no, I can do it. That is how I do, because see, if you say no, I will say no, I can do it. Then I did it. So I thought, okay, I can choose one event as 5K. And other 2 events I was wondering what to choose. Then I thought, okay, 1500, because which is less distance. And one more event I don't know, because I can't choose 100 or 200, because I know when in the school days how tough it is, I know. So I like discuss, and other track and field events are also there. I was like looking for shot put and other things. Then I thought, okay, discuss maybe just like that we can throw it kind of thing. I choose that event. I seriously don't know those how to do also. So seeing other people, I was like Googling, and then I thought I'll go. On the day of event, I'm really scared because a lot of people are talking about pace and other things and running and rounds. I seriously don't know how many rounds I have to run for 5K in the track. I think it's a 400 meters ground. That also I don't know, because I've never been to ground at all. So I was like looking other people, I was like thinking, okay, we can try this, we can try that. And I actually got a silver medal in 5K, which is, I was very happy to be, first time I went there, and I didn't even expect that I can be one among them, because all are marathon runners. And they were running almost 8 to 10 years. So in long jump, in discus throw, I got second place. And in 1500 meters, I got a gold medal. So that is my first happiness, where after this in 44 years, I was like, I can't even believe myself, because I was thinking, how come I can do it? So then I thought, okay, because this is my childhood dream. When in the school days, each and every day I'll be thinking of this long jump. I don't know why. I want to do a long jump and get a gold medal to represent India is my dreams in my school days. Actually, last year I got that actually. Because it took almost 20 years of time. But still, what I want to tell is, as everybody told so many things, which everything I've gone through. Only one thing what I'm doing is, it's willpower. I want to do it no matter what. 4 o'clock I used to get up. I used to cook for my kids, and I used to drive 1 hour to stadium, that too now. Last 2 years back, I don't even have a coach. So I again choose the 100, 200 long jump as Inky Pinky Ponky as my events, because I don't have a coach, and I don't know how to choose my event, because as I did a long distance, I'm not able to continue that. First 1 kilometer, I did it in 5 minutes, which is actually a pakka, I think a racer can do that. And other 4 kilometers, I was dying hard to complete, and I completed with 31 minutes 5K. That is how I just come into this field. Then everybody told, you are running like a sprinter, go for sprint. That's why I choose that 100, 200 and long jump. And seeing others and seeing the videos, I was practicing near my house. There was a lake where I used to run in the mud ground. Almost my shin bone will pain, my whole leg will pain, and whole body also will pain. But my mindset is, I want to win. No matter what, I want to win. Each and every day, I used to put oil and put hot water, try to do something or other just to survive. Last nationals, 1.5 month practice I took, because before that I don't have practice. So with 6 months of practice, people used to do and get medal, and I'm able to fit into that, because my coach says you are running mentally, not physically. So why I'm telling so much about this is, everybody can do it. Like me, there are a lot of people who did it in school days, still are sitting in front of me. I can see them. Almost 15 to 20 people, I grab them inside masters now, telling the same story. Because everybody will be thinking, okay, I'm also in the same phase. So you can also come. Only thing is, just set a mind. As like, everything is possible. Try to sleep, as he told, eat on time, and do some workout. Out of 24 hours, if you can't spend 1 hour for yourself, then what is the purpose of living? So everybody can be an Olympic champion, as you told, but just try. So as a housewife, we were like taking care of the kid, and even as 45 years woman, what all she's going through, I'm also going through. I'm also in the same menopause problems, and I have also met a minor surgery 2 months back. But still, I want to represent India in my Asian meet. I hardly have 15 days of time, but 100% I will do it. And next year is my World Masters. That is the final stage for me. So by God's grace, things are happening. Hope I will do my best. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Sukanya. Now I'll introduce our final panelists. Dr. Vinay Kumarswamy. Dr. Vinay is a highly respected orthopedic surgeon with over 17 years of experience. He is associated with Fortis Hospital, Rajajinagar. He specializes in joint replacement and arthroscopic surgeries, particularly for sports injuries and upper limb conditions. His area of specialization includes keyhole surgery of knees and shoulders, sports injury management including ACL reconstruction and ligament repair, joint replacement surgeries including knees and hip replacements. He has special interest in upper limb pathologies and complex shoulder procedures. He has an MS in orthopedics from Banaras Hindu University, DNB in orthopedic surgery, and he is also a member of the Royal College of Surgeons. In addition to being a surgeon, he is also a renowned academician. He has authored more than 15 papers in national and international publications. He was awarded the Best Young Achiever by the Bangalore Orthopedic Society in 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Vinay Kumar.
Yeah, a big thank you to Dr. Naga, Vonisha, for having me here. It is wonderful to share the stage with all the esteemed panelists. I would begin with the story of how I became a doctor. Dr. Malti told that she's undergone so many surgeries and that made her want to become a doctor, and she's an athlete. I am the opposite of that. I wanted to become an athlete, but I scored good marks in my PUC and my parents made me a doctor. We were two brothers. My elder brother chose to be an engineer. So, she wanted that when you go to the function, wow, one son is a doctor, one son is an engineer. So because my elder brother became an engineer, I had to become a doctor. But this is something I love doing. This is something which I am very passionate about. I like talking to people, and that's what I do in my day-to-day life. That is my profession. I don't, key in codes. I don't, munch numbers. I talk to people. That is my profession, and I love it. And after I became an orthopedic surgeon, right now I am a sports injury specialist. The athlete in me never went away, and now I'm helping athletes get back on their feet as early as possible, and get back to their pre-injury levels as fast as possible. I am also a full marathoner, not as many marathons as you, sir. I've done 9 full marathons till now. January 2025, I did the Mumbai Marathon, where I ran 42 kilometers. So I have a medal hanger in my clinic that states marathoner with some 20 medals there, and that inspires my patients, and it's a conversation starter also. So people keep talking, they start talking about their sports journey. So we are here as citizens to find out what we can change to make our country win more medals in Olympics and become a healthier country. I'll talk about 3 actionable points that we can do by making you understand how injuries happen. I am treating injuries, but how do injuries happen? So we'll start that by understanding, and I'll ask you a question. There is a badminton player, and he hits a badminton smash. How much power is being generated in the badminton smash by the right shoulder? I'll allow 2 guesses. Guess number 1. What percentage of power in a badminton smash comes from the right shoulder? 50%, yes, guess 1. Second guess? 80%. 80%. Okay, so one guess is 50%, other guess is 80%. The answer is 13%, 13% of the power is generated by the right shoulder in a right-handed badminton shuttler. Where does the power come from? The left hip. I do that and I hit a badminton smash. How much power can I generate? I do that, or I jump and then hit a badminton smash. How much power can I generate? So the actual power comes from the opposite hip. If there is a right arm fast bowler, if he does that, how much speed does he generate? If he runs from there and then does that, how much power does he generate? So you all heard of tennis elbow? Yeah, well, quite common. So tennis elbow happens because of weak shoulders. the shoulder is not able to perform adequate function, and the weakest link in the kinetic chain breaks. So if there is a person who's getting repeated upper limb injury, he's probably got a very weak lower body. So actionable points is, if you want to prevent injury, you got to have a strong body, not necessarily that part which is used in that sport. So if there is a tennis player, he keeps getting frequent shoulder injuries, maybe he has a very weak lower body because of which he's not able to run to that place quickly and pick up the ball from there, and he's putting more impact on the right shoulder. So injuries, yes, do happen in that moment, yes. You're running, suddenly your ankle gets twisted. That is one form of injury. But most common form of injury that we treat in athletes are cumulative injury or repetitive injury, because of doing the same activity again and again, and that part gets injured. So if you want to remain injury free, then you got to have a strong body, your entire body, not just that part. So if you have a kid who's into badminton, he's good at badminton, you got to put him into swimming also. You got to take him to the gym also, so that he remains injury free, so that he or she develops a strong body. Okay, I do a lot of ACL surgeries. ACL is one of the more common ligament that gets injured. If I want to quote some famous name, Ravindra Jadeja had an ACL tear. He was out, he came back from cricket. Rishabh Pant had an ACL and MCL tear, which was not a sport injury. Okay, it was a car accident. So when I operate on an athlete, I tell them that you're out of sports for 8 months. Athletes would know, athletics has a very small turnaround time. Every minute is important. Every hour of training is important. If I tell them on the operation theater that you're going to be out for 8 months, that is a big psychological jolt, and that affects their career a lot. So, actionable point 1 is, if you want to remain injury free, don't get injured, you have a strong body. We as a population, actionable point number 2, how do we become healthy? As was mentioned, if we all start playing sports, one or the other, we will churn up more athletes. I get a lot of patients who come and tell me, doctor, I am walking for the last 20 years, now I got neck pain. Guru, you've not exercised your neck at all. Obviously, you'll get neck pain. You've been walking only. You've been exercising your legs, your heart and lungs to a certain extent. But you've not exercised your whole body. So start exercising your whole body. My jogging partner is a 63-year-old gentleman. And he was having food, and suddenly his spoon stopped. It was neither going in or coming out. Tears started flowing in from his eyes. And he was having a stroke. He was taken to a hospital. They tried to put a stent into his brain, but it didn't go in because the vessel was very kinked. At that age, say 58, he decided, oh, now enough is enough, and I've got to make myself healthy. He started running from there. At 58, that is when he started running. At 63, he can run a 21K. So, what is your reason not to exercise every day? So pick up some exercise on a day-to-day basis, even 4 days or 5 days a week. Do some kind of exercise which involves the whole body. Swimming, gym, yoga, walking is an incomplete exercise. Okay, it exercises only the lower body to some extent, and heart and lungs. So we as a population should take up some kind of sports so that we make ourselves healthy and we can produce more athletes. Children don't listen to sermonizing. They ape. The only way you can teach children and the only way they pick up is aping. They do what you do. Okay, so be good role models for your children and for people around you and have a healthier life. Third is the kind of diet. That is the third actionable point we as citizens can take with our health and with the population at large. Childhood obesity is increasing, and we have a lot of people who are taking a lot of fast food, which is not good. Okay, there is a saying that if Anna Saru is eliminated from Karnataka's diet, half of the diabetes will get cured. What does Anna Saru have? A lot of masala in the Saru, and Anna is all pure carbohydrates. So 50% of your diet should be fibers. If you have a plate full, half of it should be fibers and a lot of proteins and some amount of carbohydrates. So we all should improve our diet to include a lot of vegetables in our diet and a lot of proteins. Proteins is less in diet. 38% according to statistics of India is vegetarian. I was surprised to see the people around me, and when I went to the statistics, but statistics say that 38% of population in India is vegetarian. Vegetarian diet is a little low on proteins, so you try to include a lot of proteins in your diet. Vegetarian proteins are broccoli, milk, curds, dairy and all that. So 3 actionable points we as citizens can take is strengthen our whole body, then you will not have injuries, and involve yourself in some kind of sports or the other. And the third one is improve your diet. Thank you very much. I'll close at that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sir, when I went to invite ma'am, I saw your name there because I was thinking about you and it so happened. Ma'am, then I came to know through ma'am that.
Where did you see
I wanted her to come. You know what I did? I saw the name and connected like this, ma'am. Sir is coming. Then she immediately said, I will come. And she has been kind enough and very inspiring for us. She came today, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks.
I must let everybody know. Hello, everybody. Good evening to all of you. The First Lady, Padma Shri Arjuna Awardee, Malati Holla. And she had a doctorate. And I'm a big fan of hers the day I met her and found out who she was. And what a lady she is, what an inspiration, what a motivating lady she has been. So I'm a big fan of hers. Yes. A huge round of applause for Malati Holla. I don't know if you all are aware that she's a para champion in shot put and discus throw on a wheelchair. She's a silver medalist in the Olympics. Another round of applause for her.
He is Mr. Srinivas from Sree Trust, rural NGO, where we are both of us working together.
How nice, how nice, how nice, how nice. Yeah, you sir.
Thank you, sir.